Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Excuse my hair, I've just pinned it out the way. This week I saw Lisa Eldridge posted a video on microdosing makeup, so I thought I would give that video a try and recreate it on myself to see how it looks. I know many of you, like me, tend to wear minimal makeup on a daily basis, and we like quick ways to be able to do our makeup in the morning so that we are good to go and we look a little bit more awake, a little bit more confident. So I thought I would recreate it, and I'd love to know if you guys have already tried it at home. Let me know in the comment section below if this kind of microdosing makeup is something that you already do or if you've already tried it. I'm going to use some of the same products that Lisa used and just kind of do my everyday makeup and see if we can kind of minimize the products and the time that it takes to do. So I've got my sunscreen on and I'm now going to go in with Elevated Glow in Crystal Nebula. You'll know I go through phases of using this. It's such a great product. So I'm just going to put a little dot here, a little dot there. This is going to go under our makeup, which gives that kind of like glow from within. It's a really nice way to give the skin this kind of like plump finish, because when anything kind of like looks reflective, it looks like it's more forward, and this is great on the top of the cheekbones because it makes this area look slightly more plump and pulls it forward. Next up I'm going in with the Skin Tint, also by Lisa Eldridge. I really like this for in the day. If you've followed me for a while, you know I really do love the Dr. Jart Premium Beauty Balm, and this is similar, but I feel like Dr. Jart is a little bit less drying. This one kind of is more self-setting, I think, but it's very similar. So I've used one drop around the perimeter. I'm going to just take it down here as well. And then we might do the same as Lisa and just pop a little bit more of the foundation through the centre. I feel like you need less coverage around the outer perimeter of your face than you do on the centre. The centre is where we tend to have a lot of redness. The brush I'm using is the Makeup Forever 108 Straight Flat Foundation Brush. I'll link it in the description. I've had this for years and it's just such a great foundation brush. Next up I'm going in with the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. This one is slightly fuller coverage compared to the Tint, but still very lightweight. You can really shear this down for like an everyday look that no one would really notice on your skin. It would just even everything out. But if you want kind of undetectable lightweight coverage, then go for the Tint. So Lisa talks about just doing it in the centre of your face and microdosing the amount that you apply. So I've only got one pump on my hand, probably half pump actually, and I'm just buffing this in the areas that are slightly red. So these are the areas that I tend to get quite red. I like to use a stipple motion around the pores on my nose so they become less visible. I also like to press it in with my finger because it gives a much more natural finish. Luckily, I have some pigmentation here that I've recently had zapped, so it's a lot darker. So this is good because we can test the pinpoint concealing with this. I also like to take a little bit through here. Even though I don't really have any redness or blemishes on my forehead, I still like to buff a little bit of something on there because it evens out the skin. I feel like if this area is all even, it's like the eyes now look super uneven purely because this has been evened out. So just a little bit through here. And again around here as well. Take it back just to meet the tint that we've popped on. I'm going to use a little bit on my fingers and I'm going to press that over the eyes to help neutralise the skin here. And I'm still using that half a pump that we popped on the back of our hand. It's more or less blended into my skin on the back of my hand now, so I'm just using a real very light layer. But because there's lots of pigment in this foundation, it's lightweight, but it really does give a nice amount of coverage. So you can see it's like really neutralised the top of the eyelid skin. And because we want to be gentle around the eyes, try to stipple rather than swipe in, and if you do swipe, be really, really gentle. So we've got a bit of redness underneath our eyes, and I'm just scraping off what's left on my hand. So it's a real residual amount, so very light and sticking with that kind of microdosing amounts. You can of course go in for concealer if you prefer, but darkness doesn't tend to really be my bugbear. I have like a bit of redness around my eyes, but it doesn't tend to be like blue, or, you know, I'm getting a natural dip with age, and that will be the part that probably bugs me most. But thankfully it's not kind of like super dark. Getting the rest off the back of my hand there. Look up and stipple under the eyes to even that out. But as you can see, we're looking much more even than from the beginning, and we've used barely anything. So I'm going to go in with the Pinpoint Concealer. I got this bag with the concealers. These ones were sent to me by Lisa, but I'd already purchased them when they first launched. I used my pro discount. I am kind of agreeing with everybody's thoughts on the price. I just feel like for such a small amount of concealer it's quite a high price point, but the idea is that you probably wouldn't reach for this like a normal concealer, so it will still last you just as long. If you're only using this, then you'll find that you'll get through it quicker, therefore you feel like you're paying more than's necessary for a concealer compared to what you could get from other brands, if that makes sense. But if you are only using this for pinpoint concealing, it should last you a long while because you're only using a tiny amount. I don't know if you can see, this is the new one. You see all the writing. I've only had this one a week and it's all worn off. That's a shame, because if the number wears off, you're not going to remember. If you've got a couple of shades, you're not going to remember which one's which, apart from obviously the colour of the tab. So I'm going to take shade number 4 and I'm going to go to this little blemish here and I'm going to conceal it. So first of all, I'm going to kind of scribble over the area. Straight away you can see it disappears. But I want to go wider than the actual pigmentation itself, so that I've got a kind of a seam to blend out into my skin. Then we're going to make the scribble slightly smaller and then stipple over it again with your finger so it's softer, and then we can just work directly on top so it completely hides it. Few little freckles that, if I get rid of them, will make the skin look more flawless. I'm then going to go in with shade number 3. I'm going to use this on the inner corner of the eyes. This is a bit brighter, as you can see. So it really does help kind of hide the darkness that I've got going on there. It just gets a little bit dark with age because it sinks a little bit. I really wanted to try these here because the coverage you get is really good. But I wouldn't want to waste it for the price. I would probably keep these just for the sort of blemishes and pigmentation that I would like to cover, sun damage, etc. Like, you can use it on your chest as well. I've got a couple of freckles. But if they were like sun damage that I didn't like, for example, then you could just use your, so it's like for a night out, for example, if you're going on a date and you just want a little bit more of a seamless finish to your chest, this is really great because you don't have to get a little brush out and dip it in your concealer. You can just use this. You can also pop it in your bag. So if you're on the go and you find you need a little bit more, it's great. Like Lisa said, it's probably not the right texture for under the eyes. So you wouldn't want to sort of put this all under because it's a bit thick, because the idea of this is that it's pinpoint, so it's full coverage. And that is what's going to create a little bit more texture under the eyes where the crepey skin is. So you want to use something that's quite fluid and thin that you can layer, that's not going to sort of enhance any texture under the eyes. But for the purposes of just testing this out, I'm going to do it strategically to take away redness. So pop a little bit on this outer corner and pat it in. You could also put a little bit just in the shadow here. When you look down it becomes more noticeable, and then when you look up it should brighten this area. Now, if you watched Lisa's video, you'll know the one part she didn't want to microdose on is her lip liner, because that for her is what she likes, the more the merrier, as she said. Now for me, that's my brows. It's not that I wear a ton of brow product, but it's the one part I like to just make sure they're how I like them. I'll link my brow playlist on there, so if you want to see it, because I'll quickly just do that. They take me maybe like a minute and a half, but for me that's a minute and a half that I would like to dedicate to apply my brows. So in keeping with the makeup being as simple as possible and in small amounts, I'm going to use a liquid eyeliner in a pen form, because I feel like this is the quickest way to create a winged liner without all the faff, and then that way it's kind of like microdosing it in terms of how quick it's applied. Today I'm going to use the Colourpop liquid eyeliner in brown. This is what it looks like. It's like a felt. So to make it quick and simple, the way I do it is I start at the back of where I want the eyeliner to start, I lay it down and then pull it back on itself. Really quick and simple. So that's the outside, and then on the inside I just stick close to the root of the eyelashes and meet the tail. So it's really quick and easy. Lay down the eyeliner where you want it and come back on yourself. And then just go along the root of your eyelashes and meet up with the tail that you've created. I'm going to give my eyelashes a little curl with my Rephr eyelash curlers. If you have very small eyes, you can also use one of these eyelash curlers. If you've seen them before, they go into the outer corner and the inner corner, very tiny, and they just sort of crimp those awkward eyelashes. I'll link it in the description bar for you. Curling the lashes exposes the upper waterline, and we're just going to pop a little bit of darkness there, and then that creates like a darker waterline, so you need kind of like less mascara. Now Lisa did hers in dots, which I used to do on my lower eyelash line when I was at school, which was really cute, but I just feel like doing the little dots takes longer than just doing a quick line. You'd have seen my tutorials on this before, but I like to use the Wet n Wild Mega Liner. I feel like this just stays in place. It doesn't move throughout the day, it doesn't flake, it's there when I take it off in the evening, and this is going in the root of the eyelashes. So one quick swipe is all you need. It just darkens the root and it will make your like mascara look fuller. If you missed last week's tutorial on eyeliner for hooded eyes, I will link it on screen for you now. It is like good for all eye shapes, but especially if you have hooded eyes and you can't wear a winged liner. For mascara, I'm going to use Lisa Eldridge's Kitten Lash. I really like this mascara. It's super flexible, it stays put all day, and it's really nice. It's like easy enough to remove, doesn't flake, doesn't move all day. My eyelashes are very long at the moment because I'm using an eyelash serum. It's the Sweet Lash one, and I will link it below. So the downside with very long lashes is that you do tend to get it on your top lid, but if you leave it to dry you can just knock it off with a cotton bud. My husband made me this little cotton bud holder put on my table. I just want to show that. He did it on his 3D printer. Right, see how that just like came off, no problem. I always like to coat the back of my eyelashes first. Go around the back and then the front, and then you're coating both sides of your natural lashes, which makes them slightly fuller. So you kind of like almost like coat both sides of your eyelashes, like hugging them with the mascara. So hard to talk and do mascara at the same time. You can see how long they are at the moment. It's the lash serum that's really making them extra long. I know in Lisa's video she applied eyeshadow. I'm not going to, because on a regular day-to-day basis I wouldn't wear eyeshadows. So to microdose our bronzer, I'm popping a small amount on the back of the hand, and I'm just going to use that with a brush to quickly apply some bronzer to the skin just around the hairline. I don't feel like my makeup's complete unless I've got a little bit of structure, a little bit of warmth around the perimeter of my face. Even if I go out with a tint on and I don't even do my eye makeup, I feel a little bit more put together, I guess, if I feel like I've added a little bit bronzer because I feel really pale. So still using what's on the back of my hand, you can see I'm working towards the outer edge, just taking a little bit each time. So it's only a very small amount. And a stipple motion. Go all the way across your nose. Top lip, chin. I probably didn't even need that whole swipe that I did. Get it in the hairline. So a very, very small amount. As you can see, I've still got half the amount. Very microdose there. We don't need a lot. So just make sure it's really worked into the skin. For blush, I have this new product. This is the LH Cosmetics Art Stick in the shade Sketch, which is right up my street. So again, I'm going to pop this on the back of my hand. I've never used this before, so I'm going to assume a little goes a long way because it's quite pigmented. So I'm going to use my brush, stipple that on and start at the back of the cheek. That way if you pop too much on, it's not right in the centre of your face. It's not too overwhelming. Just a little something to bring a bit more life back to the face in a very small amount. I think I'm going to use this for my lips as well, you know. Just a little bit of colour. It's actually really pretty. Doesn't it kind of make you look much more awake? And then the last thing I need to do is just pop a little bit of powder on just through the centre to minimise shine because I am oily combination. Just pinned my hair back up. I did take it down, but actually I think it's a bit distracting. So this is my version of microdosing my makeup, following along with the same technique and some of the same products that Lisa Eldridge recommended from her video. This is kind of like how I would do my everyday makeup, just brows, mascara. I don't usually put anything on my lip other than balm, but I always put a little bit of bronzer and blush on and a tiny amount of concealer. I don't know if it's made my makeup faster, but I have definitely been incorporating the Pinpoint Concealer into my everyday makeup because I only have a few areas that need a little bit of attention. I find that if I use concealer every day, kind of like in the generic areas that we tend to apply concealer, it tends to make me look a little bit older. So I tend to avoid it where possible and only use it in areas like the inner corner of my eyes, the outer edges, and then pinpointing anywhere that needs a little bit more coverage. So I really like the technique. It's something I've used and incorporated into both my professional career as a makeup artist and my personal makeup routine for many years. I think it's such an effective way to minimize the amount of makeup on your skin. I do feel like the price point obviously is quite expensive for such a small amount of product, but I understand that this is not something that you would be reaching for all over your face. I hope you loved the result. Please let me know what you thought in the comment section below, and if you tried her method, go check out her video obviously, and everything I've used I will list and link in the description bar of the video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.